Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. We're looking at question number 9 on our 2009 Cayley. If Francis spends a third of his day sleeping, a quarter of his day studying, and an eighth of his day eating, how many hours in the day does he have left? Okay, well, we should hopefully at this point in our lives know that there are 24 hours in a day. And there's two ways we could go about doing this question. I think the easiest way is to say, okay, he spends a third of his day sleeping, a third times 24 hours is just going to be 8 hours. A quarter of his time is spent studying, so a quarter of 24 is 6. And an eighth of 24 is 3. Add them all up, you'll get 17. 24 minus 17 is 7 hours left. Just make sure I read the question right. A third, a quarter, an eighth, yep. And he's got D, 7 hours left. And that's a fine way to do it. Here's another way you could do it. We know the fractions that he spends on the other activities. We don't actually care how many hours he spends sleeping or eating or anything like that. We just want to know how much of his day is actually taken up. So we could add up all these fractions, get a nice little common denominator going. Okay. I know this wouldn't necessarily be my preferred route because I don't really like trying to add fractions. But, you know, if you had a calculator, this wouldn't be that bad. You get 17 out of 24. And so, as a fraction of the day, we've got 17 out of 24 hours. 17 hours are being used up, and that leaves me 7 hours left over. But, of course, you could say, all right, whatever's left over from the total 1 is how many is the fraction of hours he has left, and then multiply that by 24 hours and get 7 hours and the answer of D that way too. That's perfectly fine. It'd be a little faster if you brought out your calculator. And remember, you are allowed to have your calculator on the test. Okay, I've got mine. I try and avoid using it when I can when I do these videos. I'm not under a time crunch like you guys will be when you're writing the contest. And I like to demonstrate that, yeah, even though I've got a calculator handy, sometimes it's good to make sure your skills are sharp and that you can do fast calculations, and I try and demonstrate that to you guys. Anyways, that was question number 9. Up next will be question 10 as we finish off part A of our Cayley contest.